is happening? Magnus asks. So, I heard little murmurings of this yesterday and possibly the day before. Just kind of went in one ear and out the other as I was looking at other things. I could have swore they said that they were moving toward Tom Holland being the leader, or maybe at least the main character in the next Avengers movies, which doesn't make him the leader because Iron Man wasn't the leader, but he was almost like a co-leader. But Steve, call it Cap, Steve was the leader. And from the past that I can even think of, Steve Rogers has led, of course, Iron Man, Black Panther, Thor, and I heard Black Widow too has led the Avengers before. I've never heard of this before. I don't know if this is a good thing. I think people are tired of Pedro Pascal's face. They're tired of his politics. They're just tired of him. I don't know if this is a good thing to do. But let's check this news out and let's hear it.
We have our new leader for the new Avengers team, and it's not who you think it would be. Or maybe it is, depending on what you've been theorizing about the new Avengers, Avengers Doomsday, and Avengers Secret Wars. We also have new details about Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, and it looks like we know what everything is building up to. Both the ending for Doomsday, the ending for Secret Wars, and the big final battle. And if everything that we're hearing is accurate, it sounds like there should be a lot more Doom in the MCU. Fortunately, I do think they are going to establish a connection between Doctor Doom and Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic. Based on what we've been hearing about the Fantastic Four First Steps, it sounds like they might be setting this up a little bit in the movie. Maybe a couple of nods to Doom to let the audience know that Doom exists in their universe, and then give us that post-credit scene with Doctor Doom. If this is all we're getting before Avengers Doomsday, then the beginning of Avengers Doomsday, they're probably going to explain the relationship between Reed Richards and Doctor Doom. At least they should for this to work, but based on what we've been hearing recently, and this is coming from Marvel Studios, Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards is going to be the leader of the Avengers team in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Yes, Marvel has basically set up a few different leaders in the MCU right now. We have Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, we have Sam Wilson's Captain America, we have Shuri as the Black Panther, we have Wong who...
The way he's looked in the trailers, he's looked like a unsure leader. I hope that he is truly the leader in this, because one of the rumors going around is that Sue will be the leader of the Fantastic Four. So let's see if they've changed things. See, one thing is cool is that with all the it's good and bad with all the leaks that come out, all the rumors, the interviews, and people put things together and figure it out. But when they're doing these reshoots, they have a chance to change it. And then the people that are gung-ho for this garbage, they're like, see, we told you that he would... No. Sometimes there's like some real credible sources that's like, yo, look, this is the reason why they're doing the reshoots. We know it, and you know it, because they're going to change this. Sometimes they never change nothing, though. So let's see if he truly is the leader in this. No, in Marvel, they'll make them co-leaders. You know what I'm saying? But we know that usually the Fantastic Four is a Reed-centric. It's around the team, but he's the leader. We all know that. Nobody's going to beat Mr. Fantastic from the Jessica Alba Fantastic Four. You know what I'm saying?
The Sorcerer Supreme. But according to Matt Shakman, the director of the Fantastic Four First Steps, Reed is going to be the one leading the Avengers, Mr. Fantastic. When speaking about casting this character in an interview with Variety, he said Reed was the most challenging role to cast.
I don't know why.
He goes from being the nerdy scientist who's locked away in the lab to the...
I did hear that Pedro Pascal actually was not the first choice, and they had offered the role to 3 or 4 other people. And I always forget his name, but the dude from The Office said he didn't want it. I wonder why.
Husband and the father who'd do anything to protect his family, to the guy who's leading the Avengers. So Matt Shakman, the director of the Fantastic Four First Steps, basically just told us the path of Reed Richards and the MCU.
Like Steve
the nerdy scientist
seems
who's
like a
locked away in
leader.
the beginning of the Fantastic Four film.
Tony, kind of. There's moments, but to me, he's not a leader. He doesn't feel like one right now.
Of course, we know that the Fantastic Four get their powers. Then, of course, we know that Sue gets pregnant, and ultimately he becomes a father. And it looks like in Avengers Doomsday, that's when we'll see him become the leader. And if you think about what Marvel Studios is trying to
boost his testosterone
it makes
up.
sense that he would be the leader, or at least one of the leaders of the Avengers. And just like in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, we are grouping a lot of people under the Avengers category here. So even if people aren't officially on the Avengers team, they're pretty much considered Avengers. Like Wong isn't officially on the team. He's the Sorcerer Supreme, but he'll be an Avenger,
Right.
much like the Guardians were considered Avengers in Infinity War and Endgame. But going back to why it makes sense that Reed would lead the Avengers, it all comes down to Doctor Doom, and specifically the relationship between Reed Richards and Doctor Doom. With the reports of there being scenes in the Fantastic Four First Steps that set up Doctor Doom or hint at him, it does seem like Doctor Doom does come from this universe. The
Lanky ass
828
uppercut.
universe, as it's been done
Lanky,
by the director,
spangly,
a retro-futuristic
extended
Fantastic Four
uppercut.
universe. Let's hope their backstory is pretty similar to the comics.
That's a
Reed
cool
and
design
Victor
right
Von
there. I
Doom
like
go
that.
to college together. They're roommates.
That's a cool
they're
design for
rivals,
Dr. Doom
and Doom
there.
starts to hate Reed. And then, if what we're hearing about Avengers Doomsday is true, and the Fantastic Four post-credit scene, Victor takes Franklin Richards. He kidnaps the son of Reed and Sue for his own plans. And that motivation alone, somebody taking your child, and you being the smartest man alive, is probably reason enough to become the leader of the new Avengers. But again, I think that it has to do with the relationship between Doom and Reed. He knows Doom. Therefore, he is probably the most qualified to take him on. And it sounds like that's what we're in for in Doomsday and Secret Wars, as we have new reports and leaks, specifically relating to the concept art that was leaked by a Marvel Studios artist a bit ago that everybody freaked out about. Well, according to the insider James Mack, he has seen other sketches, other concept art for Avengers Doomsday that shine a little bit more light on one particular concept art image that was leaked,
And what
which
is
tells us a
that?
bit about how Doomsday and most
What
likely
is
Secret
that?
Wars ends. He reportedly saw an image very similar to the one where Doom is on his throne. On the left is Doctor Strange, to his right appears to be Sue Storm and her child, Franklin Richards, and across seems to be Yelena Belova bringing in somebody by a chain to Doctor Doom, or God, Emperor Doom. James Mack says that the film's aesthetic is going to adopt an ancient medieval style reminiscent of the 1602 universe from What If. Some art shows a kingdom on Battleworld where Doom resides, featuring castles and a mythical vibe. Earlier leaks had hinted at this, he states. Now this sounds pretty similar to Secret Wars in the comics, the 2015 one of course. Doctor Doom, next to Molecule Man and Doctor Strange, attacks the Beyonders and ends up getting the power of the Beyonders, literally becoming a god. He creates Battleworld, a world that consists of many different pieces of other universes combined into one.
Alright, that's all I need to hear for now. I wanted to find out who the new leader was, and I guess we absolutely know who the new leader is. So, tell me what you think about this. You can watch the full video in the link below. Make sure you get over and follow the Cosmic Wonder, because he be getting the info. 10 million subscribers.